Right, this one, as I made the title say, has been called off early. I called it off early because of the foot pain and because of the fact I was wearing black Nike shoes that I've had for many years on end that have the narrow toe box. I wore those shoes over the white shoes that have a wider toe box because the white ones were wet on the inside. So I was thinking, no, I'm not getting my feet wet as soon as I step in them. It's been a couple of days, but yet they're still wet somehow. I don't know about that one, but yeah, they were a bit damp. So on the inside, so I decided not to wear them to further increase the chances of my feet getting wet during this time of year. Yeah, no thanks. I've even got two pairs of socks on. I've even got two pairs of socks on the radiator. So yeah, that just shows like it's been really pouring it down here, well, where I'm at anyway. But yeah, going back to the session itself, I was contemplating whether I do legs. I was thinking, yeah, I might do that. I was visualizing in my head doing the not hamstrings, the quad extensions exercise that I did on the overcoming mental attacks video, in which I had a angry look on my face because I was working through limerence. Limerence meaning an obsession um, with someone in a romantic way, or in my case, more so a lustful way. I had to. That was an example of when I used it. Yeah, it being that machine, not lust to work out, to train. Yeah. Even though some people might advocate using sexual drive to train, I don't have any thoughts on that personally. But I know that when I was working through that lust or limerence, as I'm calling it, because I thought that word more appropriately described what I was doing and what I was going through, I just felt unhappy. I just felt unhappy, deeply sad, and as you could probably tell by the look of my face before doing the quad extensions, it didn't. It obviously didn't sit well with me. So, with that in mind, from my personal experience, I will probably not advocate for training with lust as fuel, at least. As for sexual drive, if, say, you're exercising with the individual or individuals you're dating, maybe not, maybe that is healthy, maybe it is, I don't know, but no pun intended, but that's not, that energies, that drive probably won't last, I don't think, on the premise that you don't, even you yourself know you don't want to date those individual or those individuals for a long time. Furthermore, it's not a source of fuel that when I think about it, want to rely on, because that would mean relying on that source of fuel would mean I'm depending on other people to as motivation for to exercise. Sorry, motivation for training, I think was what I wanted to say. I'm not sure if I even want to use that wording, because when I think training, I think working out, and I'm not sure I want to use that wording anymore when thinking about exercise, specifically because of how workouts are conventionally thought of, i.e. a 1 hour session of exercise. I don't want to think about exercise in that way, because that isn't necessarily the way that we have to go about increasing the amount of physical activity that we get on that we allow ourselves to have on a daily, weekly, and long-term basis. Monthly onwards. Yeah. So, going back to the session now. Yeah, as you can see, I'm just dragging my feet along, making sure that I'm walking straight from time to time. I was making sure that my feet were straight after doing the practical stuff that I did for the level 2 gym instructing course for the calf raises, so I did them properly and I don't aggravate foot pain. But even though I'm doing that now, I still feel foot pain on my right foot, especially with these 2 pairs of socks I'm wearing. A thin pair of trainer socks and some longer, slightly thicker champion ones. I bring that up, not the brands don't matter, but I bring up what I'm wearing, the socks I'm wearing, because they also make the feet cramp up together as well. So that might not be all that healthy for the feet. I need to see the podiatrists. I need to see the podiatrist. I really need to, because I think that if I carry on and I don't get this sorted, I'm holding myself back a lot by not working through why I would, or not working through situations like why I left going to the GP for over a year, for example, and situations are like, the reason why I just did that was because I had a lot of thoughts in my mind and I just realised, it wasn't a 5 minute, I wasn't walking for 5 minutes, I did it for over 6, maybe less than 6.5, I want to say 6 minutes and 23 seconds, but I don't actually remember. This footage is the last clip that I have for video footage, and yeah, this is the clip that I decided, I'm calling it off. I kept seeing the ladies looking at me, or what I thought was her looking at me. That was kind of strange. I didn't say anything, even though I was thinking of saying something. I don't know why I don't know. If she was, then I don't know what was going on there, but the world is not centered around me. Maybe she was just looking at something that was close by me. I don't know. I'm not. The world doesn't revolve around me. And all of those thoughts that I could have been having related to her looking at me, I just need to realise that any of those situations that I could have made up in my mind weren't real. It was imagined. It's a way of thinking that I really have to work through. As for like violent rap lyrics and thinking them through as if I was a part of those and actually making those lyrics myself, that's something I have to work through and realise that all of that, not all of it, but quite a lot of anger that I might have built up as an adolescent up to this point came from watching and listening to those sorts of lyrics over and over and over again. And the beats themselves as well, both as for grime music and drill music, they can be quite anger inducing. They can be. That's what I've experienced personally, and I need to keep on telling myself that all of those thoughts that I'd have, all of those imagined arguments that I might have with family as well, that it's not real, and I don't have to keep on attacking my mind anymore. But at least I realised that. Damn, it's getting on 9 minutes 30 seconds, and this is still a 1 minute take. I wouldn't usually get this from CapCut, but hey, that's pretty pleasant. I'm feeling grateful for that. It would always cut off. I don't know why though, but it's not doing that this time. So I'm gonna keep it rolling. I'm gonna keep it moving. Yeah. So, just trying to I'm just stretching as you do. I forgot about stretching from side to side to get one of the muscles on the inside of the lower leg to on the insides of the calves. I don't know what that's called though. However, I'll probably find out sooner or later, especially seeing as I'm learning about the legs from the resources that I have from my level 2 gym instructing course. I'm finally doing it now. Finally doing it now. And I think my way of learning now that I'm currently working on and building up in terms of how often I do it, and also how easy it is to maintain it, is I think it's going to be here to stay. Like, my ability to learn that I'm learning is going to be here to stay, I think, because this did not come overnight. My ability to get to a level where I'm actually learning what I want to learn has not come overnight. Like, I'm just about starting today in terms of learning I call it the material, or the content. I call it the material, the gym instructing course material. I'm finally doing it. I have finally made my environment, my sister's bedroom in this case, encourage learning that stuff. I've finally done what it takes to learn that sort of stuff. Thank goodness, because without it, I'd just be putting myself in a position where I'm not learning as much as I could be. I'm not learning anywhere near as much as I could be, and I'd just be sun up, sun down, regularly, not even regularly, constantly wasting my potential, because I wouldn't be making the environment encourage learning. It just encouraged sleeping, and that's it, really. Sleeping in a disorganized environment because it's used for storage. However, with how I've organized the room, it's cool. It's cool. It's a massive improvement, and because of this improvement, or this organization, I should say, I really am on the come up. I'm really allowing myself to be on the come up from now on. In terms of my learning, I'm not talking about this series. I don't think this series might be known in the six figures. I'm not sure I would want it to be, honestly. That might be too much for me to handle, in my opinion. Because that's a lot of people, a lot of views, a lot of people commenting on what your opinions outside of the comment section. I'm alright, man. I'm okay. I'm maybe like, if the subscriber count of this channel got to like 5 figures, and 15, anywhere from 10,000 to 15,000, that's probably the max that I'd want the count to go, because the comment section wouldn't be excessively massive. It just would not be extremely visible. I don't want that, personally. I don't, because I just like being able to put my honest opinion here and live in an honest way, both on and off camera, which I might not be able to do if the channel subscriber count was at like 6 figures plus. I don't want that. Honestly, I'm not infatuated with money. I don't want it. It would be possible to make these YouTube videos as a income source through ad revenue. However, that would mean I'd have to change up. I'd have to go against my moral code for that money, or for the digits really, seeing as I wouldn't imagine it'd be cash in hand. No, I don't think that's how it'd work. It'd be bank balance, transactions to bank balance. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not even money that I'd be getting. It's just a series of numbers per month, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, I don't want that. That's too much to lose and too little to gain. I can get in a financially healthy space without needing YouTube as an income source. I just want this as a place for honesty and to have boundaries between what I am and am not willing to do for money, which this would help me do. This being making videos on the channel. And I think it would help me do this because on this channel I'd be saying, no, I'm not willing to change up how I go about making videos and potentially even show dishonesty on this channel in pursuit of financial gain, short-term financial gain that wouldn't necessarily be backed up by habits that would allow me to live in a financially healthy way. I'm not even sure if I'm looking for financial freedom mainly. I think looking for financial health, and the reason why I say that is because in my mind nowadays, after thinking it through from Benjamin's comment, Benjamin something something Orion, or Benjamin something Orion on the I'll see my abs 1 year from now, you saying be careful. And after doing quite a lot of thinking about my thoughts of financial freedom from the comment, and also just outside of that, if my memory serves me right, I'm thinking, if I say I'm looking to quote unquote be financially free, or to live in a financially healthy, in a financially free way, there's little that's taken into account. Freedom doesn't necessarily mean health. People could live in what they consider as an excess of freedom, which could cause recklessness. For example, say a kid just thinks that they could do whatever they want, whenever they want. Say they're 5 years old and they think they could do whatever, they could go out whenever they want without their parents' permission, and they could just go explore the world for themselves. That is quite reckless, and I'd argue a freedom in excess. So, in this specific context, I mean, I'm not looking for that because it doesn't take into account. Okay, yeah, sure, I might not have debt, and I might have more money or more digits going in than going out. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not on the path to living beyond my means. That doesn't take into account, like how Benjamin said, all of the people that could be out there scamming because they know that there are individuals looking for, said in Benjamin's words, buzzwords. And that's a term that I would agree with, because from my perspective, after seeing enough videos like on YouTube, like from Michael Drift, for example, maybe just from the YouTube feed, like, yeah, financial freedom could be quite a popularized term within self-improvement, maybe. I don't make self-improvement videos. I'm not interested in that. because like how Benjamin said, what are the odds that those people might actually be wanting to improve people up to a certain extent past the point that they wouldn't have returning customers? Or in this context, through YouTube, returning viewers. That could mean less money through ads. If they were to completely, if they were to help people past the point where they'd be needed. I've seen, this makes me think of one video from a YouTube account name called Outlier, and within one of the videos that the man made, it was about 1 year from now, like 1 year flew by, and within that video he's saying, oh, what happened to those goals? You let them slip. What? How would you know? Maybe he's trying to attune to people who just lack competence with, I don't want to say goal chasing, but just living life to the fullest and progressing in ways they want. Maybe that's his pitch, or that's the people that he's trying to attune to. Maybe maybe with malicious intent. I don't know. I'm not him, and I don't know him, but it could be a possibility. I'm not saying that Outlier is making those sorts of videos and saying to people that they slipped, even though he doesn't know that. Unless he's attuning to people that he knows personally and they're saying, yeah, that happened. Maybe he's doing that. Oh, I've lost my train of thought. Maybe he's doing that to attune to those sorts of people with malicious intent. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But the message that I'm trying to give across is for myself, and for myself mainly, and if other people are looking for it, they could take this advice too, is just to be careful. Just to show care for and consideration for the potential motives of these people, myself included, who are making those sorts of videos. I mean, I don't make the basic, yeah, you got this video. I past a certain point, you can only be watching that for so long, man. You can only be watching that for so long. Again, that's to attune to specific people who might actually be looking for it. So it might be healthy, and you could in fact argue that within a specific community, it might be needed. But I just, past a certain point, I believe that it's hindering. Then it's more hindering than it is helpful, or completely hindering and not helpful at all for someone like me. Because I have my own brain. I use my own brain, I can make my own thoughts. I can form my own opinion now. I don't need to watch self-improvement videos or red pill, blue pill, door pill, jean pill, t-shirt pill, table pill, water bottle pill videos. I don't need to be watching those videos. Or pencil case pill, pad pill, journal pill. I don't need to be watching these sorts of videos anymore. It might be a place to start off with that can help short term, but long term, those sorts of videos could actually be more so detrimental than helpful. Maybe. Anyway, enough of that. I am actually going to talk about learning, how I'm learning, and then that will go. So, as I was saying, I've organised the environment, my sister's bedroom that I'm sleeping in, because the room that's been allocated for me is literally smaller than a prison cell. I'm using the table that was there, which I didn't buy, for as a bookshelf, and then under it I've got some exercise stuff and then some more books which I would be interested in reading, but it's not really related to like things I have a interest in the forefront of my mind, i.e. PE, biology, and psychology, sociology too, to further understand how the world works, etc. So books that I've got under the table are like the astronomy book that I had back when I was doing it GCSE times. I bought a maths book to help me out with calculating percentages or interest for loans, because I am going to have to pay off my student loans. So in preparation for that, I've got a GCSE maths book. I'm not going to lead the A-level one. I went through A-level content or index when I was just at WH Smith. It's not it. It's not it. I don't need all of that stuff. I don't need cos, sine, theta rubbish. It's useful for those who might be in construction, but I'm not. I'm about constructing a healthy body and a healthy mind, but as for creating buildings, actual buildings, no. I could try and make myself look like a unit, look like basically a human incarnate of a building, but as for actual buildings, no, I'm not doing that. In my mind, I'm thinking of saying, look, man, I'm not. Should I really call myself the human incarnate of a building? Let's show some respect to the construction industry who are actually making houses out here, making flats, etc. But it's fine, man. I don't need to be excessively critical, man. I don't. But again, going back to the learning. So I've got the journals there to help me with planning my day out. I've got a journal for that specifically, like gym journaling my gym sessions. I've got a specific system in place for that, such as what happened during the gym session, what I'd like to repeat, what I'd like to change, and session overall. I've been following that system and it's been helping me out. I've got another journal specifically for water intake and sleep recording, which has been, I've only been using, this is like day 2 of doing it, so I would say it has been pretty helpful in starting the process, in me starting the process of coming off the screens at earlier times, but be able to make a more accurate report of personal experience after like a month or so. But yeah, God, it's just ordered. Very basically, everything is just there's a lot more order to this bedroom. Not of mine, but of my sister's. Well, that's allocated for my sister's. For my sister. Sorry, yeah. But I've got systems in place to go through the gym and to train to an extent I'd like. I've got systems in place for learning what I'd want to learn. And I'm telling myself nowadays, from today, I've been knowing that I could be using my laptop the laptop I didn't buy, but the laptop that I have that my dad gave me. Thanks, Dad. In a healthy way, through not destroying the battery, through not going on the laptop when it's on charge. So I'm thinking, to learn, what I can do is I can put the laptop on charge, and then whilst it's on charge, I'll go on the tablet that again I didn't buy, my dad gave me. Again, thanks, Dad. But I want to be self-reliant, and I think deep down, I want to prove to myself, the reason why I want this deep down is to prove to myself that I am useful and that I'm not useless. I'd be telling myself, I want to prove to myself that I'm not useless. Not to prove to myself that I'm useful, but not useless. And perhaps throughout my adolescent years up to now, I've been deep down thinking that I am useless. Guess what, mate? No longer. I'm really getting it together. So instead of saying that, I'm now going to be saying I am useful, and that my existence on this earth does have a valuable place. I am liked. I am lovable. I am. And although my parents especially might show me dismissiveness and hostility from time to time, hey, maybe they do genuinely love me, and maybe they do think I am a lovable person, even though the relationship might not be the healthiest, and the attachment style that I have, or the attachment style that I've built from their way of parenting might not be the healthiest. Hey, I am a lovable character. That's something, that attachment style is something I'm going to have to work through. Because of how they raised me, and because of how I reacted to how they raised me throughout the years. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm deciding to exercise my ability to hope, because Healthy Game GG is saying, just because I was raised in a certain way doesn't mean that is fate. Foundations don't mean fate. And that could go for every aspect of life. Just because I showed incompetence in school, a certain level of incompetence through getting C's and D's, sometimes B's and A's. That was quite rare though. Doesn't mean that is fate. Doesn't mean that I can't learn. It doesn't. Furthermore, what I learned in school in terms of the curriculum, for the most part, I did not need to know. GCSE English language, yep. Maths, yep. But outside of that, in order to get by and survive, I don't need to know anything else. Not geography, not biology, not chemistry, not physics, not math. Actually, no, tell a lie. Maths. I do need to know how to count. But other than English language and maths, don't need anything else to get by and survive. But I can't say I've been taught better by anyone, really. That includes family, both family and school. Hey, that reminds me, I've got a green A5 slip for mental health, and as for mental health, that is basically all I got from school. A green A5 slip. It's in the house somewhere, but I can't seem to find it. I thought I knew where I placed it, but I just can't seem to find it. I don't know why, but hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. Yeah. Obviously, so as for some other learning stuff, I'm learning with the resources that I've got from the gym instructor course. I've been able to print out some stuff, and I'm using that alongside drawing on the tablet and writing notes down on the tablet to help me learn. That's how I'm learning at the moment, with the learning about the body stuff. And then as for other stuff outside of that, I just go on a laptop, really, and switch between being stood up and having a small wooden desk on top of my bed so I can stand up and do stuff, and sitting down and learning like about the legs, for example, and I'm going to just keep on switching between styles. When the laptop dies, sit down. Or maybe I could, if I really want to stand up, I can just charge the laptop on the bed or something like that. But I don't know how I'm going to maintain this when I'm quote unquote working in a conventional sense. But what makes me think I'm not working now? Working towards aspirations. These aren't just dreams anymore. It's not just a set of thoughts. Nah, this is a reality. Nah, it's a reality I'm creating day by day. I said I've decided to become a personal trainer. Between me and this video, I don't want to stay there. I've heard from Noah Banks and a shredded looking American white guy saying that a shredded looking American white guy and a shredded looking British, I think, white guy, because I'm thinking, he said he's going from pure gym to online health coach, so I immediately assumed British, even though I haven't. No, I think I have watched the video actually, partially. But yeah, these people are saying they don't want to do it anymore, or they don't do personal training anymore because it's in their opinion, quite the narrow perspective, quite the narrow approach to improving health, because it doesn't really, it being personal training, focus, or it doesn't really have like nutrition, sleep, like competence in every other aspect of life as a part of it within personal training. Personal training is just the exercise stuff alone. And I don't want to stay down that extremely narrow route long term, honestly. I don't, and I won't allow myself to do that. Instead, I'll allow myself to quote unquote be, no, forget that. I am me, the human being. I'm not being a profession, or quote unquote profession. I just see it as a hobby, not really a career, but hey. Anyway, I would like to provide, there you go, that's a more appropriate wording, online health coach services, because I value my health, and I don't want to be in a position where if I want returning customers, not even people, not even people to talk to, nah, just business, just customers, thinking of these people as money, just income. If I want these people who are people and not just an income source to keep on returning, I'd have to be hiding the truth, potentially, like how that American said, that white American guy said, no, Banks is American too, it sounds like. But yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in hiding the truth. I've had to learn the truth, or what works for me personally, bit by bit, and I have no interest in going about what I'm supposed to be helping clients in a deceptive way. Not necessarily lying, but purposefully hiding the truth, hiding the complete truth, or at least my complete perception of the truth that would get them to a point where they wouldn't actually need me anymore. Nah, forget that, man. I'm not interested in that. I'd rather build clientele in my mind. I'm saying, no, I don't. I want to see these people as people, not just recurring sources of income on a monthly basis. I don't want that. I am a human being, and I want to be seen as a human being, not just business. So why is it that I go out of my way to say things like, oh yeah, I'll build clientele, or oh no, I can't say this because they wouldn't be able to. No, they wouldn't need me if I were to say this. Forget that, man. Forget that. So dishonest. Not necessarily lying, but dishonest. You know what would truthfully help them, but you're purposefully not saying it so that they could be returning customers. You wouldn't even think of them as people, just money. But it wouldn't even be money. It would just be a digital paycheck, just a series of numbers coming into the bank balance or balances, whatever you're doing. Yeah. That's what's going on my mind for now anyway. But I could say with a smile on my face, I'm feeling quite happy. Deep, not at face value, but deep down, I'm feeling happy that I'm learning now. I was thinking, it's a certain school time. With this mental health low I had, I at times would not leave the house because I thought, okay, yeah, the school kids are coming, or the school kids might be out at this time. That's the mental health low I came from, that I spoke about, as I mentioned many times. Plank Day 81, mentioned that in deep detail as to what happened, my experiences at the skate park. Plank Day 90, that was a big one. That was a lot of detail there. From memory anyway, I mean, it was a title specifically about that, so I don't see how it wouldn't be predominantly about that topic anyway when I got approached. And the 1 year life transformation journey movie that I made, I spoke about it deeply then, but now I was just I've worked through that fear a lot, so just off the jump I wouldn't be thinking about it. But now it's like I'm just so just, I want to say lost within the passion, but is that a word that I want to be using? Is it? Is that the appropriate word? Is that healthy? To consciously be saying I'm lost in anything. Is that healthy? Lost. You don't know your way. You don't know your way, or you've misplaced something. Maybe fear. But yeah. As for the last, I've worked through that when I was looking at a lady's bum on that overcoming mental attacks video. I'm not interested in looking at sexual videos on the internet anymore. I might not have a completely clear, extremely developed understanding of what's going on, but I have a clear enough understanding of what's going on to the point that I don't want to be watching those sorts of videos anymore. Not lingerie try-on hauls, not gym hauls, none of that. I'm not interested in that anymore. I've worked on working through those sorts of lust-inducing thoughts, and understanding where all of the lust that I could have built for women, unhealthy lust, and came from. Yeah. It's been quite the journey already. It really has. But I plan to keep going. I really plan to keep going. Things are, in the words of Love Dorsey, I remember from a video that other people upload onto YouTube, seeing as she's on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever. She was talking about the hard work finally paying off in a hypothetical situation she was talking about in a certain video that someone else uploaded to YouTube. Maybe Love Gangster or something like that. Ending in A, not ER for the gangster. But yeah, maybe that's what I'm experiencing now. Oh, my belly's rumbling, I need to go eat. But yeah, almost tripped over on the charger cable. Maybe that's what I'm experiencing now. What I'm doing is now really, really starting to pay off. And it will show in my financial health too. I'll make sure of it. I'm not going to just allow myself to stay financially unhealthy. I was thinking of saying financially broke, but I'd in fact argue that sort of wording is a part of why I would be where I'd be at with my finances, honestly. Saying financially broke rather than financially unhealthy, and saying, okay, in order to live in a more financially healthy way, I can do this, I can do that. Yeah. But anyway, I'm just keep it like this. Everything's starting to pay off. Trust me, and now I'm really starting to see it. But I'll leave it at that. Let's see what I get up to tomorrow. And if I can push myself tomorrow, I will. If I can't because of the foot pain, then I won't. It's as simple as that. I'm taking care of myself. And that's in every aspect of my life. And it will show my financial health too, eventually. It absolutely will. But on that note, I'm done. And let's see what I get up to tomorrow. Cheers to living an amazing life, man. Cheers. Even during this situation when the financial health might not be at its healthiest, that's fine. I'll make sure that I do what I have to do. And that goes for every aspect of life. Anyway, I'm done. And cheers to living an amazing life, man. Peace.